Now today's video is going to be about working on the carbon fiber fairing for the BMW HP2. This is Vlad's project and we're trying to do an incredible amount of work with all the carbon fiber parts. We've moved right along on it so far, but there's more parts coming. The fairing parts still have to get here, and we still need to get the matching stripe paint, which we don't have the paint yet. And all of these parts are going to have to be redone in time. But we're trying to get, right now today, I'm going to concentrate on one thing. The carbon fiber fairing for this bike is a super expensive part, unobtainable for normal people at count what they spend on motorcycling. But Vlad has this part and it needs a little bit of detailing. We've got some of the clear on it. The base coat clear, it's cured out for 2 or 3 days now. I brought it into the house. It's for all purposes, once Vlad gets here and we have our little conversation, he's going to pick up some of the parts. I'm going to dig in on that fairing and try to get all the base coat clear sanded out today. So Vlad's supposed to stop by. We're going to see if what the next step on this job is going to be. I got the parts from the other day hanging up out here, and we're going to be doing some planning. So Vlad is here packing up. He's actually trying to rob the place. I caught him down here trying to steal his own parts out of this. You like the way they came out?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're happy to go here. Don't have an accident on the way home with a bus or something.
Yeah, I'll try not to. It's my daughter's car.
Yeah.
She's gonna kill me.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. I still got the Buell stuff out in the garage. We'll go look at that later. And the fairing. The fairing's the last of the big ones. And that license plate part that holds the plate.
Yeah,
look at all. Show those valve covers. Put one of those valve covers on your head. I want to see what you look like. Not tell me. Is that a nice job?
This is good for a hat. Also.
I know. If you were a priest, you could use that to worship somebody.
True.
Okay, you got more crap for me to test paint here. What else we got?
That's about it.
Oh my God. I didn't know we had this much stuff in the house.
Well,
all right, now the BMW, you're going to bring the parts, the side parts.
Yes.
We're going to order the paint or just paint the whole red stripe over.
Yes, sir.
Here's the issue we're working with. There's the bike. It's got a red stripe and you can't get matching touch-up paint. So we're going to paint the whole bike, the red stripe on the whole bike, and then do it over. That's the only way it's going to be perfect. Other than that, it's going to be tell-time rabbit.
Oh,
you're not going to be happy.
This is a perfect idea, and this is what we're going to do.
It's a good idea. I think it's pretty good.
I don't know why.
And if you're happy, it's even a better idea.
I was kind of upset, but now you just made me happy.
I made you a very happy customer, yes. Right. Now I need you to go outside, wax my car, and make my car look like those BMW headlights. That parts did come out nice.
Yeah, they did.
So this is an important thing for me, for Vlad to get some of the parts out of here so we can have a little more workbench room. And I explained to him how this is actually a spare part, but we do have the side fairings and the belly pan coming from the BMW still. And once that's done, the plan is we're gonna dig into this full time. And we're out here. It is a beautiful riding day, but we're not gonna ride today. It's a day to go to work. Your daughter lets you drive her car? Close the door before you pull up. All right, see you later. So what are we going to have for supper tonight?
Chicken and vegetable fajitas.
Chicken and veggie fajitas. So while I'm down working on Vlad's parts, you're going to be cooking, and tonight we have fajitas.
This is
I love it. Is that the secret spice?
Spice mixture. I just mixed it.
That's a secret thing. I don't know, baby. They are good, though. When these are done tonight, wonderful. All right, I got to go to work. The parts are calling. If you birds play your cards right, you'll have chicken fajitas tonight. I don't know, though. We'll find out. So step one, as always, is we start the day off with some warm soapy water in a pan. The warmer, the better. Get out some clean gloves and some Mirka. This is industrial grade. It's called WPF Pro. Really good quality sandpaper. You can get it from Amazon. This is the part that it's just going to be time consuming. Get a cup of coffee, turn the radio on or whatever you do, and when I do this kind of work, I try not to get distracted. I don't like to try to do two things at once. So I try to dedicate a block of time. And this is about a 3-hour block of time that I spent. I wanted to go, this part is a focal point of the motorcycle. When you pull up with this motorcycle, the first thing that the sun is going to shine off is the front of this part where the headlights come out. And because it's a super expensive part, I want to be super careful I don't have any little imperfections that I can get out. There are, with any carbon fiber part, there's always little spots where the carbon isn't exactly right. Well, we live with that. But I'd like the clear to be as good as I can possibly make it for this job. Now, because this is a limited production bike, you just can't go, if this part does not come out the way I want it, you just can't go and conveniently go buy another one from your local dealer. I'm not sure, that Vlad told me that this part was $4,200 from BMW, so I'm being real careful with it. And I really want to spend the time doing all the edges, the corners, radius and everything off. Now you could do this a lot, I guess a lot simpler. Yeah, you could just put the clear on and run a buffer on it, but this is the system that I have always used on carbon fiber parts. Now this part has no painted parts, it's all carbon fiber. And it's actually made from several pieces and joined together. This did not come out of the mold as one piece. So there are some joints in it that I have to deal with. And I want where those joints are, especially around the headlight, to be invisible. So every little detailing, edge and corner, and I really did spend the time on this. And I'm not sure you can see it when it's in 10 times fast forward like this. But this was really a time-consuming part. And because I had spent part of the time with Vlad today, we talked and had a cup of coffee and hung out by the computer looking at paint jobs for the Moto Guzzi, among other things. We're doing 3 projects at once, but I don't want to have that temptation in the back of my mind to rush through anything. This kind of a job, I try to dedicate a whole day just to getting this, a whole block of time where I won't have any interruptions. And little by little by little by little, this is the hard part right here. At the very end, going through, wiping each little spot down. There's a little spot in there I can get out. There's an edge that's like a sharp edge. Oh, right there's another little, it's a little imperfection in the carbon fiber. And we're going to try to bury that in some clear, see if we can make that go away. And it's back and forth and back and forth. And there's just no other way. There's no quick, you can't grab a belt sander or anything and do this. This is all hand labor. It's exactly the same when you have anything handmade instead of machine made. You've got to do all the little detailing just like this. Back and forth, wipe it down, candle it up to the light. Yep, there's a little spot there or a little piece of dust in the clear or something. But when you have it done, the thing is you spend a lot of time at this point. I would guess there's somewhere between 3 and 4 hours of sanding here. But when you're done, you've saved probably 5 or 6 hours of buffing, because the coat of clear we're going to put on top of this should lay down so nicely. If we were going to wait for a perfect painting day, that coat of clear will lay down, and when I go to do the 2000 grit sandpaper and the buffing, that clear that I'm going to put on next is going to cure out at least 2 or 3 days, sit up by a heating vent for at least one of them. When I get to the point where I can't find any more imperfections on this, and you cannot see how much time goes into doing this. This is the only part I worked on today. But at the end of the day, I had it that I was really happy the way it worked out. And I'm sure when the bike is all put together, now all I'm doing here is wiping off all the soap and the residual, when you sand, that it looks like soap suds, getting all that off. And then the final thing is I want to get it as clean as possible with some degreasing agent. M600 is a good choice. I want to put the part on the workbench perfectly clean so that when I get a day to paint, and I will wait for a very nice day that the wind isn't howling, of course, what I want to do then is I want to just be able to wipe it down with M600 a final time, tack rag it down. And in this case, I'm using M600. The problem is that gallon can is very old, and the material that they make now that replaces M600 is not as good as the old stuff. Just like a lot of things in the world of chemicals, they've watered it down, and the new degreasing agents are nowhere near as good as the Sickens M600. If you can get your hands on that, boy, that is worth its weight in gold. And we have that. That's still a leftover from the modeling days. But I do have some of the other degreasing agents. But like I said, the M600, when you have a job like this and you want it absolutely, absolutely perfect, the M600 is a priceless part of the job. Anyway, to put this aside now, and this was a long day. This day between Vlad's visit and some other things I had to do and getting this part ready, but it's going to be that I'll sleep well tonight knowing I'm this much ahead on this project. And this project has taken on a life of its own. It's 3 separate restorations. We're going to try to do them in sequence according to how Vlad would like to have them done. And each one of them is hundreds of hours. These are not, it just put some paint on and let it go. Painting carbon fiber and making it perfect is always a lot harder than painting something, a painted part, and putting clear on. Because with carbon fiber, if you screw it up, you can't touch it up. Once you damage the carbon, you live with it. Well, it was good today visiting with Vlad. Hey, we had a great visit, always. And getting this part sanded and ready for the next day, we're going to spray clear. And we're always slaves of the weather. We're prisoners of the weather. But anyway, having this ready, this is ready for clear now. So as soon as we get a painting day, that's going to be our next stop. Now, everything about this project, and actually all 3 of the projects we're working on right now in the shop, is a total labor of love. This is not the kind of thing like painting a car where you drive the car in, wipe it off with a damp cloth and paint it and put it in the oven, and then 20 minutes later you're driving down a highway. This is exactly the opposite. This is a thing where the hours, if you do a job like this and try to keep track of the hours you spend, you're going to be very unhappy at the end. I always treat jobs like this, as the Italians say, as if time did not matter. And in this case, what I'm really looking for, my end goal with this project, is that this will be the nicest, cleanest HP2, maybe in the United States for sure, maybe in the world. I guess we're going to find out in the future. Thanks so much for watching.